Welcome back, Bronco Nation, to another episode of Bronco Talk, where we have the pride of Zionville, Indiana, 2025 Mountain West Valorant Player of the Year, an Immortal 3 powerhouse that has been a force since day one. From high school stage to the national tournaments in Texas and Las Vegas, he's the tactical heart of this squad. Lock your doors and clear your corners. Here comes Austin Prestige Julian. Austin, how we doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm alive and kicking.
Love that.
Uh, ready to see what the entire esports team as a whole uh, can do in the national championships. I'm sure you're excited, getting ready to go for it.
So excited. We leave here in a couple days.
Nice. So you are a the Valorant heart and soul of the Valorant team. Some would say. Uh, um, I mean, how's it feel coming from basically a casual gamer during the pandemic to elite competitor at the collegiate level?
I've had some time to settle in to the intensity that is the collegiate scene now.
Yeah.
And so I think coming from that casual side of things, the pandemic, everyone was pretty much a casual gamer. And with Valorant coming out at that time too, back in 2020, it gave us me some good time to like really put all my efforts into it and really see what I could do with it. And it didn't expect it to go this far. Not that I'm complaining, but I think coming from that to this, I way prefer the competitive side of things over casual gaming. Like if I'm not playing this game, whether that's ranked or matches for my team, I'm not playing much.
Yeah.
I put my all into this, and that's kind of it.
All right. How'd you get recruited to the program?
Uh, wow. I came from a program long time ago when I initially thought I could pursue this at a more competitive level. I just wanted that competition aspect of things. I joined a program and we would play in these biweekly tournaments. They would record those games and then they would send them to Boise State where they would actually broadcast those recordings with casters and a full-on broadcast. And that's how I got connected with the collegiate scene. And so kind of stuck with that for a while. They invited me out for an invitational tournament at the esports arena I'm in right now. And I got to meet the director, Doc Haskell, and a bunch of the other staff and some new staff, some old staff, and kind of get a sense of what it's like to play on a stage like this, especially in person. That was my first time doing that in person, which was a completely unique experience. And I've been addicted to it ever since. Um, so I got to connect with him and see the school and explore the environment here. And after some talks with other schools, I landed here, and I think it's like the best choice I've ever made.
Yeah, it's we've talked with Doc a few times on the show, and we love having him on. Great
Hmm.
guy. Uh, I'm sure that he's probably a reason why a lot of people choose the Boise State's esports program.
I'm sure it's a big reason. He's a very, very personable guy.
Yeah. And you're I mean, you're no slouch on the behind the computer screen either. You've reached Immortal 3, um, ranking among top Valorant players. What's that grind like on a daily basis to keep that ranking?
It takes a lot more review than one might think. There's a big part of it which is playing the game. At the end of the day, if you're not playing the game, you're not going to improve. You're not going to stay at the same level you are. But a lot of that mini improvement that you need when you reach those higher levels of the game or higher echelon of players, it comes down to how much you review and how thoughtfully you review the games that you play, and that can be whether you're playing ranked or you're playing an official match, whatever it may be. If you're actually thoughtfully reviewing those games and always looking for something to improve on, whether it's something you did well but you think you could do better, or something that you just did wrong, you're going to find more success than if you just play the game blindly every single day. And unless you're a one in a million player that can notice everything in the moment, that's the best way to see that improvement at that level.
You were named the 2025 Mountain West Valorant Player of the Year. Um, how does the competitive intensity and training schedule compared to what traditional Bronco athletes experience on the day to day?
It's a different world, really. I mean, the most obvious thing is it's a lot less physical.
Right.
Most traditional sports that you see are going to have morning lifts, sometimes two a days. You're going to see them always out on like the pitch or the court or the field or whatever it may be, practicing all their strategy and all of their physical aspects of that game so that they make sure that they're prepared. On our side, the only physical aspect we have is our wrists and our arm and making sure that we don't get carpal tunnel. So I think like the biggest aspect of for us kind of goes back to that review thing, but also our mental preparation, because a big part of the game is that mental stamina and being able to put your all in even when you're down, multitude of rounds. Being able to stay in the game and being able to always think hopefully two steps ahead at all times is really important. So in terms of preparation, we typically practice 2 to 3 times a week unless we have matches, and we'll have matches upwards of 1 to 3 times. So we're pretty busy throughout the week. And when we're not playing those games or practicing on those days, most of us are playing the game and we're reviewing the game and we're looking over those VODs, those recordings to make sure that we're actually doing what we need to at all times. And if we're not, we're thinking about how we do that. We're always theory crafting, coming up with new ideas as well. So yeah, we will typically spend about 3, sometimes 4 hours on practice, and then we'll come in for our match, spend a couple hours doing that. But it's a lot of work. I mean, it's similar in terms of time and effort, just different in terms of physicality, is how I see it.
Yeah. And you talked about mental stamina. You're
Yeah.
a marketing major with an emphasis on brand and product management. Um, joined the program on a scholarship. How do you balance the school side with the play side?
It comes down to the systems you build. I think that I've just over the years it's gotten better, but it really comes down to how you prioritize your time. And for me, a lot of my workload, even if it's a bigger amount depending on the week, most of it gets done at the beginning of the week. Like I'm talking Monday, Tuesday, most of my stuff is done through the week because like that's the most important thing to get done then. So I can not just have to think less about it later on, but I'm also less stressed. And stress is a big factor on your mental stamina during games. You don't want to think about anything else aside from that moment. And if you have all these things weighing on your mind, whether that's homework, whether that's something that you missed, something, maybe you skip the class, you're like, ah, dang, like making sure that you're on top of all that so you don't have to worry or think about it allows you to stay as focused as possible when you're playing or practicing.
Yeah. Does the esports team feel the same Bronco pride and connection to the blue turf culture that the football and basketball players talk about?
I think there's a very strong culture here and a lot of pride for what we do. And I think that that's still growing. And I think it's still on that exponential kind of growth track. It's still going up like crazy. We just partnered with athletics this year, and that has helped us out a ton. We've been able to host multiple Mountain West championships here. Specifically for our Rocket League teams, we've had major turnouts, packed the entire arena, stands full, crowd cheering. We got cowbells here, so very loud and very obnoxious, but it's very fun. And seeing that compared to something that I saw maybe before I came here for that invitational, it's a completely different experience than it used to be and a much better level. And I think that the I think that the I don't know, the attention, I guess the attention that we're receiving now
Yeah.
has helped that pride grow stronger, and has helped us want to push further. And we always say never settle, always strive for more, right? Never be satisfied. And I think that that is still true today, and it will continue to be true because of the attention or the I'm forgetting the word, but the amount of attention we've received over the years helped a lot.
Yeah. What's the the PEC esports scene like? I mean, I know you've got big schools, Ohio State, Michigan State, Nebraska, Baylor. I mean, the schools that have the money to throw at their esports programs. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But what's that scene like playing with power schools like that?
Super fun. We've been able to do it a couple years now. This will be our second year doing it, and we were lucky enough. All the teams were able to travel to Las Vegas last year, playing against teams like Ohio State and Baylor and Minnesota. All those guys, super cool. Never really thought I'd get the chance to say, yeah, I went up against like the Ohio State, right? It's sure it's in a different capacity, but it's still cool to say like at a D1 level school, I got to play against another D1 school and also come out victorious on occasion. And
Right.
so having that fun like rivalry and just competition in general, going back to that, I really do enjoy the competition aspect of it. And going up against seemingly powerhouses of themselves, like Ohio State, is always a blast.
Yeah. Uh, Two of my favorite matches that I watched were both against Ohio State in the fall and in the spring.
Yep.
And looking forward to see how the team handles them in the national championship as well. Because
Yep.
let's be honest, that's probably going to be what it is. uh, but I mean, there's what you got Utah that has been coming on strong too.
Yeah.
So that they could pose a thorn in the side here and there. So
They always
yeah.
are. Just kidding.
Who are you most excited to play in the national championship tournament?
Ohio State was fun. I think like people have been talking about it recently. Syracuse has been kind of an underdog and kind of a Trojan horse of sorts. And so they could maybe show up in a way that people aren't expecting. So I think that could be fun if we end up somehow going against them. I think besides that, Ohio State's probably going to be the fun one. I'm hoping to see either them or maybe Utah in the finals. I think that could be both of those could be a fun matchup, especially for the finals. But we got to get there first, so we'll take each
Right.
game, by
Yeah.
themselves. That's the only thing that matters at that time.
Number one seed, so you get the easiest route. So oh, hopefully it's Ohio State and Utah battling it out before they get to you.
That would be nice.
All right. Where do you see Boise State Esports in the next 5 years? And could we see a packed arenas for games like we do for football and some of the basketball games?
I think in the next 5 years, with the way that the trajectory has gone thus far, I can't imagine we won't continue that further and constantly grow at like an exponential rate. I want to see that keep happening. I want to see our arena get so packed that we're gonna, maybe we need to start having tickets for matches and stuff like that. I think that
Yeah.
could be a really cool thing. I've always had this idea of how cool would it be to have a Mountain West Championship in Extra Mile Arena in our basketball stadium and
Yeah.
have people come and watch that while we're, the stages on the floor and everything. And it's like a big production. I think that could be a really cool experience, not just
Yeah.
for the players, but for the people to come out and kind of see that side of our university. But I think that the direction we're going is a positive one, and I think it will continue that way.
Do you imagine Mountain West, the Extra Mile Arena being full of people just with cowbells, just pounding
I
on them?
can't imagine the cowbell sound. That would be a lot. If they want to do that, they can. But wow, they're loud as it is here, and
Yeah.
that's just with a few. I can't imagine hundreds of them. That would be ringing like nails on a chalkboard.
Right. It'll be Cowboy Day at Cowbell Day at Extra Mile.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you wanna have a little fun, do a little lightning round here, and, um, just ask you a few little questions, answer the
Sure.
best of your ability as fast as you can, and if you mess up, oh well.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's do it.
Alright. What is your favorite warm-up song?
I like Karma Police by Radiohead.
Alright. Favorite Boise restaurant?
Uh, Bardenay.
Does pineapple belong on pizza?
I don't think so.
Stanley or Owala?
I don't know what that means.
Oh, they're water bottles, so we'll move
Oh,
on to the next one.
Stanley. I only know Stanley then.
Okay. Yeti or Arctic?
Yeti.
Fry sauce or ketchup?
Fry sauce.
Favorite non-esports sport to watch?
College football.
Blue Bunny or Bluebell?
Bluebell.
Snow or beaches?
Beaches.
And then your favorite venue that's not your home venue to play in.
Ooh. I'll say the Luxor, the HyperX Arena in Las Vegas.
All right. And if you could add a game to the lineup to play for a national championship that isn't already there, what game would you add?
What's good right now? I get a lot of people asking me if there are. I'm gonna go ahead and say Apex Legends.
Okay. And if you're stuck on an island, what 3 items are you bringing?
Ooh. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go with water filter. um, a what's it called? The flare gun, and um, we'll go with what's seeds of some sort, like a food seed. Uh, we'll go. We'll just I don't know, corn. Why not? I'm from Indiana. We'll just go with corn.
All right. There we go. All right, Julian, or Austin, I guess. I don't know why I wanted to go Julian first, but we
That's
did
all right.
anyway. Yeah. uh, anything you want to say to Bronco Nation before we wrap up going into your national championship run?
Be on the lookout for us online. I wish I knew the name of the stream that it's going to be on, but we'll be in Las Vegas at the Luxor for the next, from Thursday through the 9th through the 13th. So be on the lookout for us playing there. If you are online, you want to check us out. But props to everyone who's helped us get this far, and who's helped me get this far with the program. And shout out to my family, I guess. My mom, dad, brother. Love you guys, and yeah, go Broncos.
For those wanting to know, it is going to be on twitch.tv/Power Esports Conference, and the games that are not on the main broadcast will be on Boise State's Twitch as well. So there you go. Well, Austin, thanks for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully we get to have you back on after the national championship and be talking about a win.
I hope to see you then. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Until next time, y'all stay safe and go Broncos.